Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, Eli's back from camp. That was a pretty pathetic wave. Like, oh, no thumbs up or nothing. Okay. We didn't get the 350 running quite right last week, but we've got fuel pump to replace. We have an oxygen sensor. We have a NOx sensor. We don't have the pigtail yet for the NOx sensor. Maybe get some more work just done on the 350. It's already late in the day. It rained. You can't see with the garage door open. It rained all morning. We can't record at all in here. It is spray foam. It's great insulation, but it is still steel. It's not stolen. It's metal. It's a metal building. When it rains, even insulated, it's so loud we can't record in here. So we just did our normal chores, got wet. We're like humid and sticky now, and that's not great. Oh, just can't see Eli because I stepped in front of him. So we're going to, well, first we're going to work on mini bike, because if you're back from camp, you haven't ridden your mini bike in like a week and a half. We gotta do that. We got a little chain tensioner for it. Didn't come with a chain tensioner. Where did he put it? Oh, you're gonna go get it. Yeah, boom, chain tensioner. So we're gonna put that on because his is a hardtail. It's a mini bike. And so it pops the chain quite a bit when you're getting rowdy. Get out of here, fly. You're not the boss of me. Land on my head like it's a landing strip. No. So we're gonna get that done. Then we'll start working on the vehicles. Hopefully we get some stuff done on this 350. What am I saying? Of course we're gonna get stuff done on the 350. We're gonna get all the things done on the 350. Maybe take it out for a rip and a spin. We actually have a busy week, but we're gonna get work done. Not work done. We're gonna get some fun done. Look at him back there. He just doesn't even care. Heads all down, heads up. Don't know, left, right.
I'm looking at the tensioner, and I'm thinking.
Oh, I hope it fits. The only way we won't get that thing fit is if it won't fit on the bolt that's on the original tensioner on the mini bike. But we'll find that out, just because we're not going to take a special trip to town just to get a bolt. But that just means we can get one tomorrow when we do go to town. But
I think it
okay.
has a bolt on it for. Is that a bolt?
False. Right there. There needs a bolt that has to go through there.
Yep.
To hold it in place.
I should probably go get the salt gun. There's like 5 million flies.
You should go get the salt gun, and then we can start blasting these stinking flies.
We can just record a compilation of us shooting.
Ooh, a fly murder compilation?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Wrecked fly.
Get wrecked fly. What am I raising? He's turning into a maniac. Okay, let's start working.
Okay, we got the idler on.
Yeah, but I don't really like it. I mean, it works fine, of course. It rotates and it doesn't bind. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to order a spring-loaded tensioner for it, and then we'll cut this clean off, this whole bracket gone, and we'll mount us a spring-loaded tensioner idler, if you will, from here, so that it'll constantly give us pressure because we're on a hardtail. But for now, we at least got an idler on there and enough tension that she should ride for a while till we get our other parts. So it'll be fine. Now let's clean this up, start work on the car.
Yes.
All right, get our fuel pump here for the 350. We have to pull out the seat. It's below access panel back there. I've never done one before. It can't be that hard to do. So we'll go ahead and get that knocked out.
Well, we took the seat out, so we might as well clean it. All right, let's clean it.
All right, and then once we get the seat out back here, we got our underneath our rear hatch little twist offs to remove the access panel. Looks like only 3 of the 4 twist. And right down there is our plug and our fuel pump. So we'll get that sucker pulled out. Yeah. Little clip here. Okay. Try not to get gasoline on everything. Let me out. We do have to transfer. So we do have to transfer some stuff, our line lock, onto that one. And when we pulled it out, the springs were all catching on the side of the opening. It was giving us a little bit extra headache, but we have to make sure we clip that guy on before we set her back in. So we'll get this clip switched over to the other one. And we'll stuff this pump back in its hole.
Back in its hobbit hole.
Well, I don't think it's a hobbit hole, it's a gas pump. Hobbits are like Middle Earthers.
You just pointed it to me, so it was the first thing I thought of.
Okay, you can turn that off.
Your camera doesn't have the zoom thing like mine does.
It may not. There we go. On. Kind of had to duck this guy in. No, I We're bound up on that clip. Okay. Make sure our gasket is sitting inside of its groove. Yep. Okay. Now we need our metal ring. Okay, new fuel pump's in. It starts well, idles better, but it didn't fix that loss of power in that mid-range, that 3,000 RPMs area. We did initially throw a code, fuel temperature sensor. I did look that up online. People say that you have to just replace the whole entire fuel pump assembly. But the one we put in was brand new. So we pulled it back out and checked the temperature sensor. There was some loose clips on the pump. I don't know, it could have happened in shipping or whatever. Disassembled the new one. Just slid all the handles back in where they're supposed to be, all the little plastic fingers where they were supposed to be. Pushed all the sensors back into their little clips, put it back in. So we've replaced the fuel pump twice today, or in the last hour and a half. Cleared all our codes again, restarted it. We're not getting that code anymore. So it's something that must have come loose just while it was shipping. And we disassembled it, put it back together, works good. But that doesn't fix our problem. I mean, I guess what we'll be getting into next, tomorrow, it's going to be a bit longer. We're not going to get much done to do it. I imagine it's going to be a few hours worth of work, the knock sensor, just because of its location. So, but yeah, that's what we'll do. So we'll get on it tomorrow. Okay, so we're back. All right, so let me show you what's been happening. We haven't picked the camera up really at all today because, again, this is not a tutorial channel. We're just bringing you along so you can see all the nonsense we do and while we do it. So that knock sensor, this is where we're at. We've got her tore down all the way down to the valley. We've replaced our knock sensor. Wiring harness is all pulled off. We've just stripped it down from the top down. Wiring harness was supposed to be here today. It did not show up today. And now they've switched it, said till Saturday. Not the end of the world. We're just going to do some cleanup stuff on this for the next few days. Don't know what we'll get in the video or not. Because as well as that, we had to order all the gaskets to replace everything back. And apparently those are the most impossible things to get a hold of as well. And those aren't supposed to be here till maybe next week. Unknown. We did pull the lower intake manifold, which you have to do. And we found that someone had been in there before because they broke the bolt off in the back of the fuel rail and never tried to pull it. So then I tried to, but broke my extractor off in it. So now, I mean, that's a hardened piece. So it won't come out. Not the end of the world, except it's going to take a little bit more time because I just ordered a new one. I could mill it out. The mill is not even set up. It's still in the shed. I'd have to get it out, set the mill up just to mill it out because it's a hardened tap. So I'd have to mill the whole thing out, tap it to a different size. Not the end of the world. But I can get a whole new lower intake manifold for $48. So I ordered one. So when that shows up, we'll throw that in. And for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to do some cleanup in the garage, cleanup of our parts. And maybe we'll paint some stuff, make it look pretty. We'll probably take the cats off. Since we have everything torn down so deep, we'll pull them cats off because we have test pipes, or we have test pipes are supposed to show up at some point. Because remember, it took months for the exhaust to show up. But since we have everything torn apart here, and we have access to those top 2 studs on either side, we might as well pull the cats off. We're not driving it right now anyway, so we'll pull those off. And but yeah, then just do some engine cleanup stuff. Maybe clean up, retape, and do some of our wire loom. Just put things back the way they should be, and then even better than they should have been. So that's what we'll start to do now. All right, boys. We're going to take some degreaser to this. Degrease it all. Then some sandpaper. Then probably Scotch-Brite. I don't know. We'll go 400, maybe 600. We're not going to necessarily polish it, but I'd like to take some of the casting marks out of it, because I think we're going to paint ours with high temp paint. Also, if you're not going to get your stuff for a little bit, get yourself a dollar bag or a bag of dollars. Just get a bunch of dollars, buy a box, put a bunch of bags in it at Walmart, mark out for all your bolts. Then you won't be left with the people who had the car before with missing stuff because they forgot, and that's probably what happened. So you'll have them all to go back. Ladies, gentlemans, brohemes of all ages and sizes. So we're back at it. New morning. What we've done that you have not seen. So what we've gotten done. Did the high temp engine. Did the throttle body. Did the upper plenum. I don't know. I might clean this guy down, reattach him, tape him, flip it, and hit it as well, just so the front and the sides, which you can see, so that what you can see would still be the same color. Don't know. Primarily because we're still waiting on our gasket set, so it can't go back together. Mail is super quick. Stuff shows up right on time every time. Obviously it's my fault because I should have ordered it sooner, knowing that that's what was going to happen. As far as this plenum goes, you see I didn't do like a super high polish or anything like that. You can still see casting marks. All we really did was cleaned it off real good. Did a light sand, red Scotch-Brite. Yeah, red Scotch-Brite. Maroon Scotch-Brite. Cleaned it again really good. Taped up all of our nipples and openings. And then just hit it with the extreme high temp primer for headers. And then the high temp engine paint. So yeah, you still see the little speckle marks, but it looks way better than, I don't know if you remember our plenum. It was really splotchy. I don't know if they had taken chemicals to it before or something of that effect. Yeah, it was really splotchy. So at least now it's all one uniform color. It looks way better. Still waiting on the lower intake. gasket set so this can go back in. So I think we're going to take the cats off today because we'll have test pipes showing up at some point, and it's the only piece left to our air. So let's pull some cats off. So we're going to get these cats off, and they're deep down in there. I don't think I can get you in a spot where you can see it. But there's 2 bolts and nuts, and one of them's a stud. It's made that way because you can't get a wrench on the top, so you have to get it through the engine bay, or I don't know. I guess there's other ways you can do it. But so what we need is to go in through the engine. So we're gonna have to go in through the engine bay with some extensions and pull those suckers off. So you're gonna need to get all of your extensions, because we're not going for any shallow penetration here. Now I know that most of you are comfortable with shallow penetration, but for all the men out there, that's not gonna work. Easy peasy, unless you don't have enough length. All right, boys, cats are off. Number 1 helper came out here. It was way easier, obviously, with 4 sets of hands, because then someone can hold a ratchet while someone else holds a wrench and all that nonsense. So what we've found, let's grab this light. What we have found here is, can you shine her down in there? Yeah.
What is that?
That's the element in the cat. So there, you hold the camera. Slap this up there. Let's see. You guys hear this? And other one, same thing. Completely broken loose, the elements inside. Probably what our power loss is coming from. It's got to be, because they slide all the way to the end, so then they get plugged up. See, he doesn't care. That's okay.
Oh, I was looking at the light. I'm sorry.
You were looking at the light. Blinded by the light. You don't know that song, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, kill that light. So that's where we're at. We do have test pipes on order, but whatever. Gaskets, of course, when they come in, we'll throw those on. Then we can rebuild the engine. Then we can fire it up, because we can run it without the cats. See if she'll rev out for us. But for now, we have reached the end of what we can do with the 350 till some more parts show up. So we got to go feed the pigs, spray them with water. They're crybabies. It's like 99 degrees outside. They need their mud hole, and they all lay in it, but that's not good enough. They like to get sprinkled with the hose, and oh, it feels so good. Oh, our skins. Psh. We're gonna eat them. We're gonna eat them. But I suppose we should go spray them with water. Give them more food, because it's feeding day. We'll be back on her when we got more parts. All right, boys, back at it again. Got our test pipes in, so we'll throw those on the cart. Got some gaskets. But we still haven't got our intake or the gaskets to put all those back in. Is it 5 days after it was supposed to be delivered? Sure is. Short of me going to the post office, getting hired, doing a better job than them, and bringing them on time, we just have to live with it, I guess. Yeah. It's 2022, if you're watching this in the future, so that you know. Right now, like, the United States is going great. Government is running like a well-oiled machine, and is only here to help the people, but not deliver your stuff, of course. And there's no recession. Wikipedia said so. We did get our pigtail, high temp pigtail for our knock sensor, so we'll throw that in as well. But yeah, we'll button up the stuff we've got in, and then we'll probably pull a fender and or the lights, get our lights wired up, and get rid of some whiskey dents in the old fender. So let's go. So test pipes are in. Easy peasy. Now sensors and our resonators for our exhaust. Okay, so got the test pipes on, got our resonators back on, got them tightened up, threw in our downstream oxygen sensors. Obviously we can't test it up yet because we don't have all of our gaskets to put top half of our engine back together. But then we've thrown on our new pigtail for our new knock sensor. And that plugs in the back. I doubt you'll be able to see that guy. So then I just pulled the headlights off. I didn't record anything for that. Just simple. Just our new headlights. We just had to cannibalize our igniters and the ballasts and our own bulbs. Yeah, that is it. And so got those thrown on our new lights. So now we're gonna see if I can't get something done with this fender. Got her pulled off, and they've bumped it before. So we've got a crease right here, which makes our light, well, our fender a little out with our light. And then this is thin, and they've obviously done some Bondo to it before. So this I'll probably get rid of. And if I need to, put some tack welds in here, strengthen it up, grind it back. But I'm no body man though, so we'll try to make this little crease look slightly better than the terrible that it is. I'm not too excited about perfection because we will put carbon fiber fenders on. We're just not going to do it right now. But when I paint the bumper, I would like to paint this fender as well. So then whatever nonsense they've done here, massive amounts of high build primer and or Bondo, will at least be the actual factory color again with the pearl. And yeah, not match it perfect, but match it better. All right, little hammer and dolly. We definitely did make it better than it was, even though it's just like the second time I've ever swung a hammer and dolly. I've swung a hammer many times. So this is where we're at. We are gonna have to use a little bit of Bondo because I'm not quite good enough, and we need to sort of repair that body line that comes off of the light. But yeah, a little bit of Bondo on there. We'll let that cure. Then I'll sand it a little bit. Maybe throw quick spray paint primer, well, aerosol can primer on it. Call that fender done. I mean, of course, until we prime and paint it, but yeah. Oh, gaskets are in, so now we're just waiting on the intake. They came in this afternoon. So just the intake, and then we can throw this guy back together. See if those loose elements are part of, well, I know they're part of our problem, but see if the loose elements in them cats give us our power back. All right. Well, all right, boys, we got to call that a week. We've run out of time. We didn't really get much done, did we? That's one of the downsides of living way out away from nobody. You can't just run to the store to buy parts. And even when you do run to the store, they don't have the parts you need anyways. So you got to order stuff online. You got to wait. Hopefully we get more done next week. Intake should be in. We can get the 350 put back together, test it, see if we've fixed our loss of power issue. Did get our fender worked on a bit. Got its dent out. I do have paint, so we can paint bumper. I still can't find my 3M wheel for removing stickers and stuff, so we'll have to find that. The battery's dead in that clock. It's been dead for 2 weeks. I should really replace it. It's definitely not 330. And we got to move some stuff around next week too. Got to get ready for the chicken coop for next year, so got to move a shed. Hopefully we get some stuff done on the car, get it reassembled. But, you know, thanks for sticking around. You get a little value out of it, or just watch and have a good laugh, or just relax, you know. Throw us a subscribe, like it. Just leave a little comment. Thanks for recording your dicking around, whatever. Remember, man, you know, you can make excuses or you can make results. Can't make both.